Hello everyone, I thought I would make this video about depression. Now, I know there are plenty of YouTube videos about depression, and most of everything that I'm going to talk about in this video has already been talked about dozens of times. However, I'm making this video anyway, because it's not like in the general population or general public, it's not something that is brought up very often, and I think that the more people that openly talk about it and acknowledge that it's a serious problem, the more mainstream attention it will get, and the more awareness it will raise. Because it is a serious problem, and it needs to be addressed more than it has been. I should know, because I myself am a victim of depression. I've dealt with it my entire life, and sometimes I cannot even get out of bed in the morning because I just don't want to. I just don't want to face the day. Sometimes I just want to sleep forever, and it also impacts uh, my my classes, and because I just can't really do the work because I just have no motivation, and sometimes it gets so bad that you feel like um, wanting to die. Um, Now, one common thing, one common misconception is people think that depression and sadness are the same thing. They are not. And they also think that it's sort of an everyday emotion. It's not. I know because in everyday life, I go by and I see people say like, "Oh, I'm so depressed. I didn't get the video game I wanted. I'm so depressed because I got a B on the test." No, that's not what depression is. People should use the word sadness to describe everyday things that get them down, not depression. Why? Because using the word depression in everyday situations desensitizes the word, and it makes it seem like less of a deal than it really is. It is a huge deal, not something that is just an everyday thing. Um, and sadness and depression, as I said again, are not the same thing. Sadness is due to an external influence, i.e., something makes you sad, like, as I said, not getting the video game, or even your cat dying. There are varying levels of sadness, but generally sadness is something that causes you to be sad based on something you experience or something. And usually sadness is temporary, like you feel sad, but then you're able to eventually get over it and feel happy. Depression, not so much. Depression is a lot more long term, and sadness and depression, while they are two different things, sadness can become depression if the sadness continues for an extended period of time without you feeling better. Then it can become depression, but usually it's temporary. However, you can also become depressed for no reason. No reason. These are what I like to call depressive episodes. It's when you're feeling good one moment, and then all of a sudden you feel like crawling into bed and shutting everyone out, and you just don't want to acknowledge anything, and you just feel so low that you don't even want to be awake. Um, that you feel just absolutely horrible, and you have no idea why. That is depression. See, depression and sadness Sadness is an emotion because, again, it's brought on by external influence, and it is something that everyone feels. Everyone, even the happiest person, has felt sad at some point in their life. However, depression is not an emotion. It's a mental illness. It's a disease. It's due to a chemical imbalance in the brain, or it can also be due to being sad and for an extended period and then having that sadness gradually develop into depression. But you can't just feel uh, better. Like, people say, "Oh, stop being so sad. Come on, you've got so much. Your life is so good." Well, yes, it is, and yes, you are correct. We there are um, we don't we do have it better than we think. However, in our minds, we think that our life sucks because that's what depression does to you, and we and it's not something we can just shut off. Oftentimes, depression is so extreme that we can't just be happy. Like, like doing something, watching a funny movie or something, that or reading a good book, that does not bring you out of depression. Sadness you can end. Generally, if you're feeling sad, you can cheer yourself up by doing something that you enjoy. However, with depression, you cannot cheer yourself up no matter how much you try, and you find the activities that you normally enjoy to be boring or just aren't interested in them. Depression, you cannot make it go away whenever you want. It has to go away on its own. Like, usually a depressive episode can last for minutes or days, but usually at some random point you'll stop feeling depressed, but then it'll start back up again. Now, however long the depression lasts varies from person to person, and some people feel that way all of the time. And it's just, people people just think that it's not a big issue, but it is. Take Robin Williams, for example, and his recent death. Well, it wasn't recent, but it was within the last year, so I consider it to be recent. Um, he, I heard even my parents say things like, he shouldn't have, like, he took the coward's way out. He killed himself. That's horrible. He, he's, he just, he was an idiot. No, no. Robin Williams was not a coward. He was a victim of a terrible bully known as depression. And that's what depression is. It's a bully. It tries to ruin your life, it tries to make you feel sad, and it tries to just make you feel horrible. Suicide was the method that Robin Williams used to escape from it. It is not a good method, but he did not take the coward's way out. He felt so low that he just couldn't take it. He hid behind a smile, and that's a thing. If you are depressed, do not hide behind a smile. Don't try and fake being happy. If you really feel like killing yourself, talk to someone. And I mean it. Talk to someone. Even if you don't think they'll understand, do it anyway, because it might save your life, and because you just need the support. if you're afraid of judgment. But it's better to have come out about it and be judged than it is to just keep it inside and let it boil inside your mind for